we're not questioning Natasha Howard.
DeWanna Bonner has ruined her legacy in about a month.
But you're moving on to another team. That's not really
The big marquee signing for the biggest team in the league.
Did not thank the fans of America's clearly America's team.
It's bad for Caitlin Clark that the vet that you admired so much that you worked to get in.
The DeWanna Bonner drama has taken a new twist, and Natasha Howard might have just added fuel to the fire.
She did not follow DeWanna Bonner a day ago, but on her Instagram story today, 54 minutes ago, obviously after the whole DeWanna Bonner situation, immediately posting song lyrics to a song called We Not Done. We Not Done. Yeah, we not done.
She posted "We Not Done" on her Instagram story shortly after Bonner's exit. Now, maybe it's not a direct jab, but let's be honest. How could anyone not connect the dots?
The DeWanna Bonner situation is never ending. It is never ending, lads. And I think there's a lot to talk about. And there's a lot more we're going to have to talk about. We're going to have to talk about potential players that FIFA could bring in to replace her. We got to talk about why she's gone.
This whole Bonner situation is looking more and more questionable, especially when you consider one thing that makes her look really bad.
Not a good situation all around for the Fever, but at least we're not questioning Natasha Howard's effort. We're not questioning she wants to be there. And you know what? DeWanna Bonner just being gone, and there not being any talk of DeWanna Bonner coming back. And when it's all said and done, the Fever were not in the wrong in this scenario. I'm absolutely fine with this all being mishandled when the Fever are not in the wrong. I don't blame Kelly Krauskopf for this.
She reportedly advised other teams not to pick her up. That's right, she told teams not to sign her after her exit. That's not something you see every day. Look, no one's doubting Natasha Howard's commitment.
Anybody with any common sense is not stupid when you see this. So DeWanna Bonner is, of course, waived. She was disgruntled. We talked about the fact that...
What everyone is questioning is DeWanna's intentions. Does she even want to be there anymore? At this point, I'm completely fine with how the Fever handled things. Because from where I'm standing, they didn't do anything wrong.
She wasn't getting the minutes that she was getting last year, yada, 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 right? Her minutes dropped from 32 minutes last year down to 21 this year, and that's with 3 starts. She started 39 games last year.
So, DeWanna Bonner has officially been waived, and frankly, it's not shocking. She seemed frustrated for a while. We've already discussed how her minutes took a serious dive this season. Last year, she was on the court for about 32 minutes a game. This year, that dropped to just 21 minutes. And that's despite starting only 3 games.
The Indiana Fever and hope she would bring some veteran leadership to a young court. Bonner put out, I want to sincerely thank the Indiana Fever for the opportunity to be a part of the Fever franchise. Despite our shared goals and excitement heading into the season, I felt the fit did not work out, and I appreciate the organization's willingness to grant my request to move on. Particularly at this point in my career, I wish the Fever great success as they continue to build around this dynamic group of young players. Man, whatever, bruh. We should have held her hostage. You ain't going nowhere. How about that? You gonna sit out your 16th season in. How about that?
Keep in mind, she started 39 games last season. In her departure statement, Bonner said, I want to sincerely thank the Indiana Fever for the opportunity to be part of the Fever franchise. Despite our shared goals and excitement heading into the season, I felt the fit did not work out. And I appreciate the organization's willingness to grant my request to move on, particularly at this point in my career.
The DeWanna Bonner situation is never ending. It is never ending, lads. And I think there's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot more we're going to have to talk about. We're going to have to talk about potential players that FIFA could bring in to replace her. We got to talk about why she's gone. We got to talk about the CBA, like the player, and I'm going to talk about all of that for the rest of the day. Like, I've got a video talking about whether or not they should bring in Emma Mason, whether or not they should, it's going to affect them in the CBA. I'm going to talk about whether it's affecting Caitlin. But today we're going to talk about one thing that makes DeWanna Bonner look really, really bad. It makes DB look really, really bad. And it's the fact that she has told all other teams, other than the Mercury, don't sign her. Because, by the way, if another team claims her off the waivers, she gets her full salary. She gets her full salary if another team claims her off the waivers. She has just said that she's only going to go to the Mercury.
But did you catch what was missing? No mention of the fans. Nothing. Not even a passing thank you. That silence says a lot. And here's where it gets messy. Bonner reportedly told other teams not to claim her off waivers. If a team had picked her up, they'd be responsible for her full salary. But instead, she made it clear she only wanted to go to the Mercury.
And as soon as cap space magics up for the the Phoenix Mercury, DeWanna Bonner is refusing to play for the Fever. As soon as it becomes feasible for Bonner to go and play for the Mercury and make her money and still get a good chunk of her money, she's out. She's out with the Fever. Was it the plan all along? Who knows? Who knows? But like, this is just a bad look in general. It's a bad look in general. She has told all the other teams, don't even try get me.
So now, the moment it becomes financially and logistically possible for her to join Phoenix and still get her bag, she's out. Just like that. She walked away from Indiana. Was this her plan from the beginning? Maybe. Maybe not.
I think it's fully understandable. And we gotta talk about this because she is currently forcing her way towards a team and by refusing to play. Like, that is straight up, like, in my opinion, it's a crazy thing. It's like she's entered a transfer portal with a do not contact tag. She is forcing her way towards one team. She's acting like a mid-season free agent. And it's genuinely just, it's a bad look for the league. It's a bad look for the league that one of the greats of all time are doing this.
But it's a terrible look no matter how you spin it. She's essentially forcing her way onto one specific team by making herself unavailable to the rest of the league. Honestly, it's like she's treating the WNBA like a college transfer portal with a do not contact sign.
The media are going to be scared to call her out. The media are going to be scared to call out DeWanna Bonner on this for clearly being in the wrong. And like, you can say, and by the way, you could simultaneously make the argument of she made a huge mistake in the summer and she wanted to get the Phoenix and she didn't care how she did it, that she was looking out for herself, which she did what's best for her. But like, sometimes what's best for her is just wrong. In life, sometimes what is best for you is just objectively a wrong situation.
She's acting like it's free agency in the middle of the season, and it's not. That's not how this league works. And yes, while it's fair to say she made the best decision for herself, we also have to admit that sometimes doing what's best for you is just flat out wrong.
I think she played bad on purpose. She plummeted her stock to the point where it's not like we could trade her. It's official. It is official, y'all. We have waived DeWanna Bonner per a source. League sources told the Indy Star. And we're also re-signing Ari McDonald, which is good news. We all wanted Ari back, right? That's good news. But we got to tackle this DeWanna Bonner thing first. Bonner did not intend to return to the Fever. In 9 games with the Fever, Bonner averaged 7 points, 4 rebounds in about 21 minutes. The 16-year veteran was a coveted free agent signing for the Indiana Fever and hoped she would bring some veteran leadership to a young court.
When you commit to a team and then bail because you're unhappy with your role, that's not honorable. That's not professional. Here's the reality. The Fever waived her. League sources confirmed it to the Indy Star. And now she gets to decide where she lands next. In 9 games with Indiana, she averaged 7 points, 4 boards, and just over 21 minutes per game. Not bad for a 16-year vet, but she was also one of the team's biggest offseason signings, and she just walked away. And that farewell statement she gave, sure, it sounded polished, but what exactly didn't fit? Was it the running, or was it the fact that she wasn't starting? Let's be real. It sounds like the real issue was coming off the bench, and she wasn't willing to deal with that.
DeWanna Bonner. And the reason we have to talk about DeWanna Bonner is simply because this situation is crazy. It is all around crazy, and I think it is fully understandable that people are pissed. I think it's fully understandable. And we gotta talk about this because she is currently forcing her way towards a team and by refusing to play.
All right, let's get into it. Because once again, we're talking about DeWanna Bonner. And honestly, how could we not? This entire situation is chaotic, and people have every right to be upset. Seriously, it's totally understandable why fans, analysts, and even players are reacting the way they are. Bonner is quite literally forcing her way to a team of her choice, and the way she's doing it just feels wrong.
DeWanna Bonner is telling teams not to sign her. She sat out for the Fever. She pulled a Jimmy Butler. She pulled a Ben Simmons. This is not right. It is not right. And this league, people in the league and the media in the league are so scared to speak negatively on players. They're so scared to speak negatively on players that even when they mess that why would any player not do this, by the way?
Let's not sugarcoat it. It's a terrible look for the WNBA. We're talking about one of the most respected veterans in the game, and this is how she handles it? Some people have tried to compare this to what we've seen in the NBA. Remember Jimmy Butler's messy exit? Or Ben Simmons with the Sixers? Yeah, that was ugly too. And guess what? It's still viewed negatively. No one looks back at those moments and applauds them. Just like them, DeWanna Bonner is making a decision that might benefit her personally, but it goes against the spirit of commitment.
I mean, I'm just saying, unless they bow down to you. Unless they bow down to you and just give you a starting position. But honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the Mercury don't even need you. The Mercury don't even need you over there, man. And, you know, now they're going to throw a monkey wrench into the plans over there. Now that coach has to figure out, oh, okay, how can I keep DeWanna Bonner happy?
Life isn't always about what's best for you, especially when you've made a promise to a team, to your fans, and to your teammates. If you're unhappy, try to fix it. Don't just walk away and expect everything to revolve around you. Right now, that's exactly what she's doing.
For you saying move on, I'm thinking move on like you're retiring, right? I will see if that's the case. But you're moving on to another team. That's not really moving on. That's just quitting, all right? Say it for what it is, man. You quit on the team. You gave up. And honestly, man, it doesn't look good. This is a terrible way to go about it, especially for you to be looked at as a leader. Yeah, man, this is a terrible way to go about it. You know, you're not setting a great example here, man.
She's telling teams not to claim her. She didn't suit up for the Fever. She sat out. She pulled a Jimmy Butler. She pulled a Ben Simmons. And that's not okay. But here's the thing. The WNBA media space is so cautious, so protective, that barely anyone is willing to call her out. And let's be real, does the Mercury even need her? That team already has pieces. Now they've got to deal with this extra layer of drama, trying to keep Bonner happy. It's not just switching teams, it's bringing baggage. That coach now has to navigate a potential distraction. Bonner isn't transitioning to a new chapter. She's abandoning the one she was supposed to be part of. And let's call it what it is. She quit. She bailed. And the optics? They're awful.
The Indiana Fever and hope she would bring some veteran leadership to a young court. Bonner put out, I want to sincerely thank the Indiana Fever for the opportunity to be a part of the Fever franchise. Despite our shared goals and excitement heading into the season, I felt the fit did not work out, and I appreciate the organization's willingness to grant my request to move on. Particularly at this point in my career, I wish the Fever great success as they continue to build around this dynamic group of young players. Man, whatever, bruh. We should have held her hostage. You ain't going nowhere. How about that? You gonna sit out your 16th season in. How about that?
This whole ordeal has been handled with no accountability. You sat out. For how many games now? 5? And for what reason? Personal reasons that were clearly just a cover. She wasn't hurt. She wasn't dealing with a family emergency. She was mad about her role. Plain and simple. She didn't want to come off the bench, and so she found a way out. That's not mature. That's not leadership. It's not even professional. And honestly, the WNBA has to step in. They can't let players walk all over their contracts, sit out games, and sabotage a team's season just because they're unhappy. It sets a bad precedent for everyone.
She did not follow DeWanna Bonner, there you go. But on her Instagram story today, 54 minutes ago, obviously after the whole DeWanna Bonner situation, immediately posting song lyrics to a song called We Not Done. We Not Done. Yeah, We Not Done. She's out going posting We Not Done. And I don't know, again, I'm not going to say there's a shot at DeWanna Bonner, because at the end of the day, there is a non-zero chance that she sat down all the team, apologized to the team, said it wasn't working out, and they'll be pissed. Maybe there's no hard feelings personally there.
Just under an hour ago, 54 minutes to be exact, Natasha Howard posted something very interesting on her Instagram story. It came right after all the drama surrounding DeWanna Bonner's exit. The post was a line from a song called "We Not Done." Now, I'm not going to say outright that it was a direct shot at Bonner, but come on, the timing makes it hard to ignore. The lyrics said, "You the enemy now." That's powerful, and it sounds a lot like a player drawing a line in the sand.
For you saying move on, I'm thinking move on like you're retiring, right? I will see if that's the case. But you're moving on to another team. That's not really moving on. That's just quitting, all right? Say it for what it is, man. You quit on the team. You gave up. And honestly, man, it doesn't look good. This is a terrible way to go about it, especially for you to be looked at as a leader. Yeah, man, this is a terrible way to go about it. You know, you're not setting a great example here, man.
Whether or not it was aimed at Bonner, Natasha followed it up by making it clear she's not quitting on this team. She's staying locked in, ready to respond on the court, not in the media. A lot of people are interpreting her message as a subtle but firm call-out, not disrespectful, but very real. She's saying, we're still here. She might be gone, but we're not finished. In other words, it's a declaration that the team isn't folding just because Bonner walked away.
The Indiana Fever waived DeWanna Bonner on Wednesday, re-signing Ari McDonald. Bonner has been away from the team since June 12th, missing 5 games for fake personal reasons. Fake personal reasons. Wasn't nothing wrong. You was mad that you got benched, and you always was gonna find a way out no matter what. And we know that.
That's ridiculous, man. It's childish. It's unprofessional. But I do feel like the WNBA have to do something about players doing this, man. You can't allow players to just sit out and do whatever they want, especially with them being signed to a contract. Fam, are we kidding?
That's the kind of leadership fans want to see. Nobody's questioning Natasha Howard's effort or commitment. If anything, this just proves that she's not here to play politics. She's here to compete. And honestly, it's refreshing. Because while everyone's focused on the fallout, Howard is focused on moving forward. And you know what? I don't blame her for drawing that line. Because the Fever haven't done anything wrong here. From every angle, this situation seems like it was mismanaged, but not by the team. Bonner made her decision. The Fever moved accordingly. There doesn't appear to be any major issues inside the locker room either. If there were, we'd be seeing more signs. But instead, we see a veteran like Natasha posting a message like, "We not done," which speaks volumes. It's a rallying cry. It tells the fans, the league, and her teammates, this team isn't quitting. And honestly, that energy matters, especially after something like this. Bonner was supposed to be a leader. She was supposed to mentor the younger players. She was supposed to support players like Caitlin Clark. But instead, she bailed. So now it's up to people like Natasha to set the tone, and she's doing just that.
If Natasha is the reason DeWanna Bonner's not returning, okay, Natasha Howard, we'll say nothing bad about you for at least a couple of days. Calling out DB, basically saying I won't quit on the team. I don't take it like that. I think a lot of people are taking it like that. I take it as her saying, you know, she's gone, but we're not out. She might be out, but we're not out. We're not done.
At the end of the day, DeWanna Bonner's legacy might not be what anyone expected. Instead of being remembered as a veteran leader, she's now seen as someone who quit, someone who walked out when things got tough. And honestly, that's a brutal image to leave behind. For Caitlin Clark, this has to sting. Imagine looking up to a seasoned player, expecting guidance, only to be left hanging. Bonner didn't just walk away from a team, she walked away from a responsibility. She didn't quit on the game, she quit on the people around her, on her teammates, on her role, and on fans who genuinely believed she'd make an impact. This wasn't some quiet parting. This was a full-blown mess. 5 games missed under the excuse of personal reasons that weren't real.
Her legacy is going to be a quitter. Doesn't matter what she's done in her career. I don't mean it's a bad look for Caitlin Clark, but it's a bad look specifically for Caitlin Clark. It's a bad look. It's bad for Caitlin Clark that the vet that you admired so much, that you worked to get in, that you worked to bring in, it's clear.
But you're moving on to another team. That's not really moving on. That's just quitting.
The big marquee signing for the biggest team in the league. Just quit. just quit and is now holding out, I'm only going to sign for one team and one team only. We going to play for one team and one team only.
She had people worrying about her, when in reality, she was just upset she got benched. That's not only disappointing, that's disrespectful. The Fever made her a marquee signing. They invested in her, gave her a chance to be part of something big, and she gave up, like a Jimmy Butler moment, like a Ben Simmons meltdown. That's what fans are going to remember. And maybe the coldest part of all of this, she robbed us of time, of potential, of what could have been.
In general, it's something that the Indiana Fever just have to deal with and try to work through. And it doesn't seem like there's much of a locker room rift in the team, because you've seen like Natasha Howard posting on her Instagram story about "we not done," the team celebrating after the win, Damiris Dantas posting about the entire team.
But hey, this might have been the wake-up call this team needed. Because if this game taught us anything, it's that Caitlin Clark isn't backing down. Not now, not ever. She's just getting started. So let us know what you think. Was this the wildest moment of the WNBA season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and stay tuned, because this story is far from over.